With sports pictures, the most important thing is having a fast shutter speed to stop the fast-moving action. The camera gives you a few different mode options to do so. First, you can change your mode dial to Sport. Here you have a few different options to choose from. The Creative option actually allows you to select the shutter speed you want. You can choose Indoor, Outdoor, or Normal. I don't find that the indoor and outdoor settings really have that much of a difference between them. The auto white balance is locked and you can't change it. So if you are indoors, I would not recommend using the indoor sports. If you're outdoors, auto white balance is okay, but also not great. Choose Normal, press Set, and the ISO is set to Intelligent ISO. The white balance can be changed, so go ahead and press the white balance button right here. And choose Daylight if you're outdoors, or Tungsten if you are indoors. Shade and Cloudy will also work for outdoor situations if you want to warm up the tones in the image a bit. I'm going to go with Daylight and press Set. Now by default, the autofocus mode is set to the multi-focusing option. And that can be okay, but sometimes it'll focus on something that you don't intend. So press the autofocus mode button right here to the left, and choose the single area focus or the autofocus tracking. This will help you keep track of the subject as long as you can initially lock focus on that target. Press Set. It's also very important to note when you're taking pictures of sports that you probably want to use the autofocus continuous mode. So regardless of whether you're in an automated sport mode such as this or a shutter priority mode, I would recommend using the AFC autofocus option. What this does is allow you to hold the shutter button down, focus on your target, maintain that shutter button pressed halfway, and the focus is continuously working regardless of the distance between the subject and the camera. So now, when I'm ready, I can go ahead and press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture. As long as there's a green dot, the picture will instantaneously be captured. The other thing I recommend doing is using the continuous drive mode. So regardless of which mode you're using in the mode dial, move your drive mode switch to the continuous drive setting. Now you have the continuous drive setting available in the quick menu. Mine is set to high, which is just fine. And now, as long as I hold the button pressed down, the camera will continuously keep taking pictures. And this is great for sports because I can continuously be tracking the subject, holding that shutter button down, and the camera keeps taking pictures. The other options for locking the shutter speed, instead of letting the camera select the shutter speed for you, is press Menu and choose Creative. As I mentioned before, go ahead and press Set. And here you can see that using the left or right navigation buttons or the dial in the front of the camera, I can choose a shutter of my choice. And you'll notice if I choose one that is too fast, the number turns red, indicating that I don't have enough light in my scene for this fast of a shutter. So I'll slow it down until the shutter speed turns yellow. Now I want something at least 500th of a second. So I'll set it to 500th of a second, and then go ahead and press Set to accept. Now I can press the WB button here to adjust the white balance. I want to choose Daylight, then press Set. And again, I'll change the focusing option because I don't like the multi-focusing very much. I'll press the autofocus mode button here, move to autofocus tracking, and press Set. So now I'm ready to take my picture with a shutter speed fixed at 500. Finally, the last option is to use the shutter priority mode in your mode dial. Turn your mode dial to S. And because normally we use the program mode, the S mode will remember a lot of the settings that we had set in the program mode. Again, you have to choose the continuous drive mode and the AFC mode in your autofocus dial. I can press the white balance button to choose the white balance of my choice. Press the ISO button to change the ISO. If we're outdoors and there's plenty of light, 100 should be really just fine. You don't need anything more than that. But if this is a night game, for example, you would want to increase the ISO so you can maintain a high shutter speed. I'm going to assume we're outdoors in the daylight, so I'm going to stick to 100 and press Set. Just as before, my autofocus mode is set to autofocus tracking, which is fine. My ISO is set to 100. My white balance is set to daylight. I'll use the dial up in the front to adjust my shutter speed. You can see right now in yellow it's set to 1/25 of a second. I want to increase that to at least 500. And now again I'm ready to take my picture. Place the focusing brackets on my target, lock focus. I can recompose the image and wait for the action to happen. As soon as it does, I can press the shutter button the rest of the way, keep tracking the action as it happens, holding down the shutter button so the camera continuously keeps taking pictures, and hopefully one of those pictures will come out very good. To find out much more about digital photography and your digital camera, go to lbguides.com.